This is the second part of the previous video, Cellular Jail, in which I described the various mental and physical torture inflicted by the British authorities on Indian freedom fighters. In this video, I shall describe the geography of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, history of the penal settlements there, various pictures showing how the British authorities and their families were enjoying life there in different islands in Andaman. In Andaman, the harsh life of the freedom fighters and the prominent freedom fighters who had spent and sacrificed their life in Andaman. Andaman Nicobar Islands are a group of 321 big and small, named and unnamed islands situated away from the mainland of India in Bengal Ocean. These islands are divided into two groups, namely Andaman Group of Islands and Nicobar Group of Islands. 26 islands in Andaman Group and 12 islands in Nicobar Group have human life in it, which means 38 islands out of 321 are inhabited. These islands stretch over 700 kilometers, covering an area of 8,249 square kilometers in Bengal Ocean. Now, Andaman Nicobar Islands are Union Territory and Port Blair is the capital. The name of the Port Blair was chosen after the English naval surveyor Archibald Blair. It is 1,255 kilometers away from Calcutta, 1,200 kilometers away from Visakhapatnam, and 1,190 kilometers away from Madras, which is comparatively the nearest one. Now, let us see the history of the penal settlement in Andaman Nicobar Islands. The idea to establish a penal settlement in Andaman started after the first Indian independence struggle in 1857, though a temporary prison was there before 1857, which was then abandoned. During the British Raj, the British authorities wanted to keep those Indians who are active in freedom struggle in a secluded area far away from mainland in order to avoid the spread of revolutionary ideas to the common Indians. The official decision was taken on 1st January 1858 and Captain Henry Mann, executive engineer and superintendent of convicts, was appointed with this responsibility. He raised the Union Jack at Port Blair on 22nd January 1858. A naval officer, Dr. James Pattison Walker, had been appointed as the first jail superintendent. Accompanied by the first batch of convicts, 200 men, an Indian overseer, 2 Indian doctors, and a guard of 50 naval brigades, men under an officer of the Indian Navy, Dr. Walker left Calcutta on 4th March 1858 on board of Semirance, a steamer ship, and reached Port Blair on 10th March 1858. Immediately on arrival, the convicts were sent as 3 gangs of 25 men, each to clear the Chatham and Ross Islands. By 6th November 1858, barracks were built in Ross Island to accommodate 1,000 convicts. The headquarters of the penal settlement were established in Ross Island, and this was officially approved on 7th May 1858. And the penal settlement were centered around the harbour of Port Blair, namely the Ross, Chatham, Viper Island and Port Blair. The condition of prisoners within the prison and outside was horrible. They were provided with minimum quantity of food, which was very poor in quality, just to keep them alive. They had to work in the thick forest of the island, facing venomous snakes, challenging climate for at least 9 hours a day, mainly clearing the jungle, erecting buildings for the penal settlement and buildings for the British officers. The Aborigines of the islands were the biggest threat as they frequently attacked the prisoners with arrows and axes. Death among prisoners was very common due to different diseases, snake bites and attack from Aborigines. Majority of the prisoners were freedom fighters of the first independence struggle of 1857, and of course there were few criminal convicts also. Dr. Walker was very harsh with the freedom fighters, and he appointed the criminal convicts as supervisors over the freedom fighters. Because of all these unfavorable circumstances, escape attempts by prisoners were common. And these prisoners were killed by aborigines or death due to snake bite or by starvation. If any of them recaptured by the prison guards, they were sentenced to death by hanging. By 28 September 1858, the number of prisoners were 1,330. On 1st April 1859, a group of 500 Punjabi prisoners attacked Dr. Walker due to his cruel attitude to the prisoners, but Dr. Walker escaped the attack. On 14th May 1859, the aborigines of the islands attacked the Aberdeen at the Atlanta Point, which was suppressed by the prison guards, but many Indians lost lives, in addition to the casualties among the aborigines. This incident was documented in the history as Battle of Aberdeen, and a memorial has been erected in the newly constructed water sports complex. Dr. Walker was replaced by Captain Horton on 3rd October 1859. After this, many Britishers were appointed as the superintendent of the prison. Hard criminals between 18 and 14 of age who were found physically fit for hard labor were transported to Andaman from different parts of India and Burma. This includes female convicts also, including freedom fighters. There were 6,965 prisoners in the Andaman Penal Settlement when Colonel Ford was the superintendent, who was succeeded by General Henry Mann in 1868, who introduced the jail reformation system founded by Sir Stanford Raffles. Major part of this system is still existing. On February 1872, Lord Mayo, the then Viceroy and Governor General of India, visited Andaman Island to study the penal settlement and the condition of the prisoners. I cannot proceed this description without mentioning few words about Sher Ali Afridi, who was from Peshawar, the northwest frontier of the present Pakistan. He was serving in the British Army as an ordinary soldier, and on account of his good performance and discipline, he was provided with a horse, a pistol and a certificate. But unfortunately for his bad luck, he was deported to Andaman prison in charge with some crime related to a family dispute, which he strongly believed that he was innocent. He was imprisoned in the Ross Island prison. After a few years of confined imprisonment, he was allowed to do gardening work, considering his well-disciplined and good behavior in prison. On 8 February evening in 1872, Lord Mayo, after finishing his official responsibilities, wished to watch the beautiful scene of sunset in Andaman. Lord Mayo moved to a suitable place to view the splendid scene of sunset in Mount Harriet. Sher Ali followed him with a knife, hid himself in jungle, and stabbed the Viceroy when he got an opportunity. In Pakistan, yet another version of this incident is popular. It is like this. While Lord Mayo was conducting the inspection within the prison, much politely, Sher Ali requested the Viceroy that he wanted to say something, and on this request, Lord Mayo approached the prison cell to hear Sher Ali. At this moment, Sher Ali caught hold of his neck and strangulated the Viceroy, who died on the spot. Before the bodyguards could do something to save the Viceroy, as Sher Ali, being a Pathan, very tall and stout. Anyway, Sher Ali was arrested at once and sentenced to death by hanging. He was hanged in the Viper Island gallows on 11th March 1862. Because of the various unfavorable conditions outside the prison and the cruel and inhumane treatment by the jail authorities within the prison, the death rate among the prisoners were very high. The Imperial Gazetteer of India and the various official reports of British documents shows the average death rate in Andaman penal settlements from 1874 to 1900 was 39.51. and in the year of 1881 it was 50.71. This data shows how cruel and inhumane the jail authorities behave with our freedom fighters. The different inquiry and reformation committees appointed by the British authorities was only because the news appeared in international media followed with the uproar outside the Britain, mainly in the US. The penal settlement in the early years used to imprison the heroes of the Indian Independent War of 1857, which include Allama Fazl Haq Khairabadi from the United Provinces, Maulavi Sayyid Alauddin from Hyderabad, Bahadur Goanbarth from Assam, Garabdas Patel from Gujarat. There are hundreds of freedom fighters whose names are neglected in history. Now let us see the remnants of various official buildings and certain photographs showing the luxurious life of the Britishers in Andaman. I have already mentioned that the Britishers and their families were enjoying a luxurious life in Andaman, which was not available even at their homeland in Britain, at the cost of the hard work of our freedom fighters. I am standing in front of the Commissioner's Bungalow, which is now in a ruined condition after many years due to lack of maintenance. A huge banyan tree encircled the remaining part of the bungalow with its numerous prop roots. I had to remove many layers of decayed leaves to see the floor of the bungalow, which was tiled with Italian tiles in 1870s, which I have read somewhere. This is Mount Harriet, where the official residence of the Deputy Commissioner of the Andaman Penal Settlement was. But now, only the broken pieces of the gate pillars and the foundation of the building are seen. This place is rich with different types of beautiful birds. I visited the Chadam sawmill, which was the biggest sawmill in Asia, started by the British after the establishment of the penal settlement. They started this mill mainly to transport the best quality of timber to England and also for the use of the Britishers in India, not for any benefit for Indians. Like they started the Nilambur teak plantation and the Shornur Nilambur railway line for the transportation of the best quality of teak to England. This video clearly depicts that the present freedom which we all are enjoying now was attained by sacrificing the sweat, blood, life and innumerable dreams of thousands of patriots from different parts of the Indian subcontinent. Our leaders achieved this goal by fighting unanimously, irrespective of caste, religion, language, social status, etc. etc. And this unity was the quality which the Britishers were mostly afraid of. So, may the first and foremost message of this video be our unity as Indians. Thank you very much for watching my video. I shall meet you shortly with another interesting video.